Before we begin this story, take a moment to settle in. Allow your mind to drift back in time, more than 2,000 years, to a world lit by oil lamps, surrounded by marble temples, and filled with the echoing footsteps of thousands of citizens. Imagine standing on a hill overlooking ancient Athens. The air is warm. The sky glows with the soft color of a Mediterranean sunset. Below you, the city stretches outward, narrow streets, terracotta rooftops, bustling marketplaces, and the shining Parthenon rising above everything else. Athens is alive. Vibrant. Crowded. Hopeful. And unaware of the shadow that is slowly creeping toward it. Tonight, we explore the disaster that changed this world forever. Section 1, The Setting, Athens at its peak. In 430 BCE, Athens was at the height of its golden age. Its influence stretched across the Aegean Sea. Its navy controlled trade routes. Its artists and philosophers shaped culture and thought. The people were confident. Proud. And filled with ambition. Yet, Athens was also at war. A long rivalry with Sparta had escalated into open conflict, the Peloponnesian War. Athens had strong walls and a powerful navy. Sparta had unmatched land forces. The city prepared for a long siege. And it was this preparation that unknowingly set the stage for catastrophe. Section 2, The Great Migration into the City. Pericles, Athens's most influential leader, instructed all rural residents to move inside the city walls. This meant tens of thousands of people, farmers, shepherds, artisans, entire families, abandoning countryside homes and squeezing into the urban center. Imagine the sight: endless lines of wagons, oxen pulling carts loaded with furniture, children carrying baskets, shepherds guiding frightened livestock through crowded gates. Inside the city, space quickly ran out. Athenians built makeshift shelters in every open area. Tents lined the streets. Wooden shacks covered hillsides. Courtyards filled with strangers living shoulder to shoulder. The city had never held so many people before. Public fountains overflowed with crowds seeking water. Trash accumulated faster than it could be removed. And the summer heat turned everything into a haze of dust and smoke. Still, people believed they were safe. They trusted the walls. They trusted the navy. They trusted Pericles. No one imagined the danger that had already entered their city. Section 3. The first cases. The first people to fall ill were travelers and sailors arriving at the busy port of Piraeus. Some collapsed shortly after disembarking. Others developed symptoms only hours later. At first, the disease confused physicians. Patients suffered from sudden fevers that seemed to ignite from within. Their eyes reddened until they glowed unnaturally bright. Some developed violent sneezing fits. Others complained of a burning sensation deep in the throat. Within a day, symptoms intensified. People gasped for air, unable to satisfy their thirst. They begged for cold water, sometimes drinking until they overwhelmed themselves. Their skin grew blotchy with rashes and sores. Some bled from the nose or mouth. Doctors examined patients, but the close contact made them some of the first victims. As healers fell ill, panic spread across the city. Section 4. Thucydides account. Thucydides, the historian who lived through the catastrophe, wrote, "People in perfect health were suddenly seized with violent heats in the head. Their eyes became red and inflamed. Inside the mouth, the throat and tongue were quickly suffused with blood. Many could not resist the thirst, drinking water in great quantities." He described the mental state of sufferers as restless and confused, unable to sleep or stay still, constantly shifting positions in agony. Some individuals became delirious. Others wandered the streets, unaware of where they were. His writing was calm and clinical, but the scenes he described were terrifying. Section 5. The city descends into chaos as the disease spread. Athens changed. The busy agora became quieter each day. Market stalls sat empty. Public gatherings vanished. Temples overflowed with the sick, praying for help. Priests performed rituals non-stop. But even they eventually succumbed. Soon, funerals became impossible. There were too many dead, and too few people willing to handle the bodies. Thucydides wrote that laws, traditions, and social norms collapsed. Men now coolly ventured on what they had formerly done only in a corner. They resolved to spend quickly and enjoy themselves, regarding life and riches alike as things of a day. Athenians who once prided themselves on discipline and honor now acted out of desperation. Some people abandoned family members to save themselves. Others stole from the dead. Many simply resigned themselves to fate, choosing to live recklessly since tomorrow was uncertain. Section 6. The human side of the tragedy. Imagine the emotional weight. Children watching parents fall ill, parents forced to decide whether to care for their sick children, knowing they too might die. Neighbors became strangers. Strangers became threats. The fear of touching another person changed everything about daily life. Even friendships dissolved under the pressure. Some showed remarkable courage. They risked their lives to care for the sick, bringing food, water, and comfort. Most of these caregivers died from the close contact. Thucydides called them heroes, people whose compassion stood in contrast to the chaos around them. Section 7. Pericles and the loss of Athenian leadership. Pericles, who guided Athens through its greatest era, was not spared from the plague. He watched 2 of his sons die. He saw public anger rise against him. Citizens blamed him for overcrowding the city. The war strategy that once seemed brilliant now appeared reckless. Eventually, Pericles became ill himself. Thucydides wrote that he maintained his dignity even as his strength faded. His death left Athens without direction. Without Pericles, political factions fought bitterly. Leaders came and went quickly. Confidence in government weakened. Athens was not only fighting disease and war. It was fighting a crisis of identity. Section 8 – The Science and Theories. Even today, the plague remains mysterious. Symptoms overlap with several known diseases: typhus, smallpox, measles, scarlet fever, and some hemorrhagic fevers. But none match perfectly. Some scholars believe the disease mutated to adapt to crowded ancient conditions. Others argue it may have been a now extinct pathogen. Recent DNA studies suggest typhoid fever, yet many disagree, saying the symptoms were far more severe. This uncertainty adds to the haunting nature of the event. A disease powerful enough to devastate a city, yet elusive enough to leave no clear trace. Section 9 – The Aftermath. A city forever changed. When the plague finally began to fade, Athens was no longer the city it once had been. As many as 1/3 of all Athenians were dead. Some estimates go even higher. Entire neighborhoods were emptied. Shops remained closed. Farms outside the walls lay abandoned. Families disappeared entirely. Artisans, builders, ship captains, scholars, many of Athens's most skilled citizens, were gone. The military suffered devastating losses. Ships could not sail at full capacity. Armies lacked trained soldiers. Sparta, sensing weakness, intensified its pressure. The psychological effects were equally severe. People questioned their faith. Some believed the gods had abandoned them. Others accused the gods of cruelty. Still others turned away from religion entirely. Athens had been the shining example of order, reason, and democratic unity. Now it struggled simply to maintain its identity. Thucydides' legacy. Without Thucydides, the story of the plague would be little more than a rumor. But because he survived, He recorded the outbreak with precision unmatched in the ancient world. He described symptoms, behaviors, reactions, mistakes, and lessons. He refused to attribute the plague to the gods. Instead, he focused on human choices, crowded conditions, and the nature of disease itself. This made him one of the earliest true historians. His account still influences how modern historians analyze epidemics. His clarity shaped future methods of research. And his survival ensured that a piece of Athens's darkest hour would never be forgotten. Section 11. The broader lessons. The story of the Plague of Athens carries lessons that reach beyond its time. It shows how quickly order can fade when people are overwhelmed. How disease can change politics and warfare. How fear can reshape human behavior. And how fragile even the strongest societies can be. But it also shows resilience. After the plague, Athens continued to build, write, debate, and create. Its spirit never fully disappeared. Even weakened, it endured. History remembers its suffering, but also its perseverance. As we leave the ancient city behind, imagine once more standing on the hill overlooking Athens. The fires that once burned endlessly have faded. The sounds of suffering have grown quiet. And a cool breeze moves through the empty streets. The city has changed, but it still stands. Marble temples reflect the moonlight. Olive trees sway gently in the night air. And far below, the Aegean Sea brushes softly against the shore. History is filled with moments of triumph and tragedy. Moments of beauty and darkness. And moments that remind us how connected we are to those who lived long before us. Thank you for listening.